Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Rajiv S. Khanna from immigration.com, the law offices of Rajiv S. Khanna, PC. We do a Thursday community conference call once on LinkedIn audio and once on our law firm's private bridge, which is what you're calling right now. All calls are subject to the disclaimers you heard while you were logging in. With that in mind, let's get started. When we host these community calls on our conference bridge, we give everyone the opportunity to post questions ahead of time. Those questions are then guaranteed to be answered first. Within those, normally I mark down those questions which I consider to be frequently asked. Today I didn't see any frequently asked questions. So first I will answer the questions that have been posted. I'll invite after each question if somebody has a follow-up question on that which was discussed. At the end of this, once I have answered all the posted questions, we will begin with new questions if there are any. Let me just make sure you guys can hear me. 1 second.
The conference is now in conversation mode.
Can you guys hear me okay, everyone? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The conference is now in presentation mode.
The first question is, I am seeking immigration to the US. From Dhaka, got married to a US citizen, but her parents did not stay in the United States. Oh, I see. We want to settle in the US. Okay, so basically, this is the difference between a green card holder, also called an immigrant, and a citizen. A US citizen could stay away from the United States for 50 years and they would not lose their citizenship. But a green card holder would lose their green card. So first of all, your wife is a US citizen, whether or not she lives in the United States. That's not an issue, okay? How would this work? What are the practical issues? So she will apply for your green card while she is still in Bangladesh, okay? These papers will be sent to the USCIS. The only requirement is by the time the papers are processed and you are scheduled for an interview in the US consulate in Dhaka, your wife should be either already in the United States or be in the process of moving to the United States. Okay, so this is not a big deal. We've done this many times before. It often happens. This is very common for people who were born in India, that their US citizen children are turning 21 and applying for them while they've been waiting for their green cards for 10, 15, 16 years. Okay, so this is quite common. A couple of tricky points here is the affidavit of support, who provides support, and she needs to be moving back to the United States. What is the timing of that? All that can be discussed. You can go ahead and contact me if you would like us to represent you. It's my email is help@immigration.com. Okay, help@immigration.com. If you are here, Shakik, go ahead and press *5 on your telephone. If you are here, press *5. I can answer any follow-up questions. Any follow-up questions on this issue, guys? Okay. Let's go on to the next question. So, notice of intent to revoke, impact on H4 visa, H1B status, and future employment. I find these sessions helpful. Excellent. I'm glad I can help. I'm on H1B status currently. Went for stamping in India, got NOIR, which is notice of intent to revoke. After interview, employer received the NOIR. They have responded, but they haven't shared it with me. I'm in Canada on visitor visa. I now have my H4 interview scheduled in August. My spouse already has an I-140 approved. I'm going to go to USA on H4. That should be perfectly okay. All right. Now the question is this going to be a problem for my H4? And the answer is not, unless there is some negative finding against you. So unless there is some finding of fraud against you personally, I don't see any problem with this. Okay. And the only way you can find out is try, and I think you'll be fine. So my spouse is they have the I-140 approved, then I'll apply for H-4EAD. With spouse with H1 amendment, yes. I'm not sure if you can, I mean, that you'll have to double check with the lawyers. I think the H4, the H4EAD, and H1, all of them have to go at the same time. Okay. But the NOIR is not going to cause any problem unless there is a finding against you for some kind of fraud. Okay. Will my cap be preserved if I want to switch to H1B? Yes. Unless the government revokes the H1. In that case, whether or not you are still exempt from the lottery becomes questionable. I doubt that that's an easy question to answer without looking at the exact grounds on which the USCIS is revoking the case. Okay. If anyone has a follow-up question on this, press *5. No new questions, only a follow-up. Okay. Let me go on to the next one. So here there's a discrepancy in the employer name on the approval notice. So the employer's legal business name is XYZ, but in another state they operate under the business, doing business as ABC. So there is, in the approval notice, both the names are combined. XYZ, DBA, ABC. This is perfect. This is perfectly fine. I don't see any problem with it. Okay, you will be fine. I don't think it's going to create any problems for you, either for visa stamping or at the port of entry. Okay, you'll be fine. That's the way I see it. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, press *5 on your phone. Okay, let's go on to Suraj. Consequences of filing AR11. Okay, so AR11 filing is extremely important. Technically, they can, if I remember correctly, I looked into this issue many years ago. AR11 is considered to be a misdemeanor if you don't file it within 10 days of moving. As a practical matter, I've never known anybody getting into trouble. Okay, as theoretically at least, it could be a big problem. But whenever you can do it at the earliest possible time, even if you skip those 10 days, do it. And for those who are here, folks, remember, anybody who's on a non-immigrant visa or even on a green card must file AR11 online. Is easy to do. Do an AR11 every time you move your home within 10 days of moving. Okay, this is required by law. I don't think you're going to have any consequences. This is not going to be an H1B misrepresentation. AR11 has to be filed. There is no choice. Will this impact my H1B extension? I don't think so. AR11 is not going to impact, but if you have other issues, I do not know about that. Press *5 on your phone if you have a follow-up question on this. No new questions. Follow-up question. Okay. Next question, Nash Guy. Oh, this is a complicated one because you have a denial of a 485, 131, 765, and then you filed a motion to reopen. Even that was denied. Now we have to file. Okay, the latest update is dismissed. Okay. Please suggest the steps. Reaching out to Ombudsman's office, reaching to U.S. Senator, lawsuit against. So Nachiketa, it's difficult for me to give you any options without looking at all the details of the case. So you went out of the US. ASCS was closed for construction work. January 31st closed for hazardous weather. Not appearing for biometrics, that's the reason. I think you could try a litigation route. I don't know the law of the circuit where you are, but if you should talk to a litigator, because this is such a minor issue, they should reopen this case. And maybe a litigation would be helpful. That's what it appears to me. If you're not eligible for filing 485 again, I mean, filing 485 again would be great if you can. But if you cannot, it doesn't hurt to consider a litigation. Okay. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, press *5. Okay. Let's go on to the next question. This is Prem Pathak. So immigration status scenarios for primary and dependent AP, H1, H4 and 485 pending. We have a couple of questions. 485 pending got AD and AP. Primary used AP to enter USA but continues to use H1 as work authorization. So let me clarify something for all of you here. If the primary applicant for a green card is on H1 and their 485 is pending, they've got advanced parole. Let's say they go outside USA and they come back using advanced parole. If they rejoin the same job on which they left, they are still considered to be on H1. Remember that. Advanced parole entry did not destroy their H1. Okay, so that's actually all the questions they have. If primary used AP to enter USA but continues to use H1, can dependent use H4 to enter the USA, or do they need AP? No, they can. They should be able to use AP as for H4 as far as I know. You can double check with the USCIS customer service. There's some tricky issues here, but I think they would still be able to use the H4. That's my take on this. If primary is on H1 and dependent enter on AP, then when primary changes job, can dependent extend their H4 again? They will need to go out and come back on H4 visa if they use an advanced parole to enter. Okay, that's what I think. Although normally what happens is whatever happens to the H1 happens to the H4. So this is a tricky issue. I've never dealt with this before, nor is there anything in writing on this. What I would recommend is it's just as easy to go get an H4 visa from Mexico or Canada or any of the neighboring countries and come back. Why think so much about it? Okay, get an advanced parole, travel, go get your H4 visa and come back. When 485 is pending, can dependent spouse change the status from H4 to H1? Yeah, if you are on H4, you can change to H1. And then primary change from H1 to H4? Yes, they can. Why not? Does this violate pending EOS? No, not at all. I don't see any problem with that. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, no new questions, follow up on what I just discussed. Okay, this is from New Jersey. No, New Jersey, go ahead, I can hear you.
Hello, Rajiv.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I have a question on the same thing, AP and 485 pending. So, say I have I'm an H1 and I have AP till October. Right now, I'm changing a job and transferring H1 to other company. Okay, and so I have some family medical emergency and I need to leave next week.
Okay.
Now, when I am outside, I can change of status to another company?
Okay,
and
so
not violate my
okay. Okay, hang on. Let's back up a little bit. Did you say you have a 485 pending, sir?
485 pending. I have EAD and AP valid till October 2023.
Okay.
Now,
okay. Hang on. Don't go too far ahead. I need to look at this step by step. Okay. So, when is your AP expiring and are you coming back within the life of the advanced parole?
That I am not sure because I may be more than 4 months because I have some serious family medical emergency and I need to be there for, 6 months or so.
Well, there is a gray area here that I cannot comment about. Very difficult for me to give you a definitive answer. The gray area is this. By the way, before I make that point, do you have an H1B visa stamp on your passport?
Yeah, currently I have, but that is expiring on July.
Yeah, so
But once I go outside, my new company file H1, I got visa stamp, and once come back again for a few days before my AP expire, that is valid?
Yes. Okay, let me think about it this way. So this is a complicated situation. I'm going to try to give you a solution which you can discuss with your lawyers. So I'm trying to make sure that your 485 does not get abandoned. Okay. The law is clear. If you have an H1B visa stamp and you use that to come back, there is no problem. Your 485 is unaffected. But what if your stamp expires while you're outside? Nobody knows. Okay. So I would rather not get you in that situation. You said your H1 is expiring in July, right?
Right.
You are applying for an H1B transfer. When do you have to travel, sir?
I have to immediately travel.
Immediately
The
travel.
problem is
Okay.
that.
So let's say you left the United States, but your visa stamp is still good till July. So you are okay there. Now, what if you got your H1B premium processed, the transfer?
Right, that's what I am doing.
Then what you do is immediately go get your visa stamp I think this is the least risk. You go get your visa stamp before July, if you can. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna work out that much time. The problem is sometimes the visa stamp is denied. They put you into 21G. Okay. Then I think what you need to do is you have to be back in the United States. You cannot really be outside without jeopardizing your 485. So if you're outside and you don't have an H1B visa stamp and your advance parole expires, your 485 is gone. Now you have to wait.
At least I can stay outside till my advance parole is there, right?
Oh, absolutely. That is no doubt. That is absolutely 100%
Okay.
there. Okay. So if you come
Okay,
back.
and within that time, from outside, I can get my H1 stamp and come back once.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
okay.
All right. I hope that helps.
Okay.
Good
Thank
luck
you
to
very
you. Good luck, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, it sucks when you have all these difficulties and on top of that you have to deal with the dumb immigration rules. Okay. Next question, Vaibhav says, currently working with employer A on H1B. I want to work for another employer parallelly. If I do not want to do a concurrent H1B, can I apply for O1? No, you cannot have an H1B and O1 together. You have to have one or the other. No, you cannot. Okay. So you can do a concurrent H1B. You can even do a concurrent O1 for both employers, but you can have only one status at a time. Press *5 if you have a follow-up question on this. Press *5. Okay. This one is from area code 917. I have no idea where 917 is from. New York. Okay. Yeah, New York, go ahead. I can hear you.
Hi, Rajiv. So there is no other way to work for another employer.
No.
Right? I mean, I just have to do concurrent.
Concurrent.
That's the only way.
Yeah, concurrent H1B is the only way. Okay.
And I cannot have like two statuses at the same time.
You
H1B
cannot.
and O1.
You cannot. If you wanted to do an O1, you have to do O1 for both of them if you want to work for both of them. If you want to work for both of them on H1B, you have to have H1B for both of them. You can't stagger H1B for one and O1 for the other. Okay?
Got it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Next one is from Mike. Mike says, EB2 NIW for a Canadian citizen with Indian background, IT experience, and diverse professional background. Okay. So Mayank, I was going to do, my problem is I have no damn time to, there's so much I want to do for the community and put out all the information. But let me see what I can do in little chunks. First of all, there's a huge difference between EB1, EB1A, EB1B, and NIW. These are two completely different categories. Okay. EB2, which is NIW, is not that good for Indian-born people. And the fact that you're a Canadian citizen doesn't matter unless you were born in Canada. Because you were born in India, this is not going to help you. Okay. So EB2 NIW is not that great for you. Are you on the phone? Press *5 if you are. Okay, you're not here. NIW works for people born in any other country where the priority dates are not backed up. And NIW is a lot easier to get than an EB1A. Okay. NIW focuses on 4 things. Number 1, what are you going to do for national interests of the United States? Not local, but national interest. For example, if you're an academic researcher, your research is available to the whole nation. If you're, on the other hand, a researcher for a private company, that may not help the country. Okay. So first thing, what are you going to do which is in the national interest? Number 2, so they look at the project that you have in mind. This is what you're going to do. Number 2, is there interest in the United States? Are US companies interested in hiring you? Job is not required for NIW, but let's say a US company says we would work on his project, we like the project, that's interest. Number 3, are you qualified? That's usually the easiest one. And number 4, why should you not be asked to go through the labor certification process? And that's, of course, that's up to the lawyers to draft those answers. You have to focus on the first 2. What are you going to do that is in the national interest? And 2, is there interest in the United States in your work? That, in a nutshell, is NIW. Not so great for India-born people. *5, if you have a follow-up question, press *5. Okay. Next question is about traveling outside the US for H1 stamping with H4 spouse in the US. Okay. So if I am going to USA, my spouse is I'm going outside USA, I'm going to India, let's say. My spouse stays back because of children's school and this, right? Kids' classes, yeah. So, and I get a 221G, can I do this? And the answer is yes. Okay. Normally, if you are an H1 holder and you go away for 8 months, your H4 holders can't stay back in the United States because H1 and H4 go together. But you go for just a brief trip, 6, 8 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I think the family can stay back. I don't see any problem with that. But what if you get stuck for 6, 8, 9 months? That's when nobody knows the answer. I would say that this is not a situation of your own making. If you get a 221G, what can your family do? The kids are finishing school. And in any case, kids under the age of 18 don't have any issues with unlawful presence. And as long as the I-94s have not expired, there is no unlawful presence. Maximum government can say, oh, you are out of status. Then go get an H4 visa stamp and come back. Go to Canada or Mexico, not the end of the world. Okay. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, press *5 on your phone. Okay, there's one question from Florida. Florida, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hi, good afternoon, Rajiv. Just a question on H1B I-94. So my I-94 is expiring end of this month.
Okay.
So
This
my
is not
conflicting
a follow-up on what we are discussing. Hold on. I'll open the call for general questions once I'm done with these. So sit tight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure. Sit tight. I'll be right with you. Okay. Next posted question is Aruna. H1B transfer with pending H4 change of status and EAD. H1B transfer with pending H4 change of status and EAD. Okay. What are the implications? I'm on H1B, applied for H4 change of status and EAD together, awaiting approval. Got a new job offer, and my H1B transfer is approved with a new company and will be joining soon. As my H4 and EAD petitions are still pending, what happens if they get approved? Okay. So this is called the last action rule. I'm not sure how legal it is, but it is there according to the USCIS policy. Whatever gets approved last, that's your status. Okay. If you want to continue to be on H1B, you've got to withdraw H4 and EAD. Yeah, you cannot continue on H1B once your H4 is approved, unless you applied for consular processing of your H4, which you did not, of course. Okay. So you have to withdraw them right away. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this, press *5 on your phone. Okay. I'm going to lock our conference in about 7 minutes so that I answer the questions of everybody who's here. All right. Then the next question is from Ansari. Potential consequences of submitting multiple H1B filings on STEM OPT and approval process. I'm working for a consulting company. I got picked up in the gap. They filed my petition. I was interviewing with another consulting company. I got an offer. They also agreed to file, picked in the gap. I did not join them. Will I still face issue of NOIR, NOID? Well, these two companies are not related. You have a history of working for multiple employers. I don't think you're going to have a problem. See, the prohibition is against collusion by the companies or any other unfair means. If you have 2 genuine jobs, I think it's perfectly okay to apply. If you have 20 genuine jobs, nobody can stop you from applying for 20 lotteries or 20 lottery entries. Okay? I don't see this as a problem. *5, if you have a follow-up question on this. Okay. Area code 815. Where are you? Illinois. Okay. Yeah, Illinois, go ahead. I can hear you.
Thank you so much, Rajiv sir. So actually, there's an update. I got my approval from the first company, and the thing is, like, I got one more offer from a company. So, and both of them are remote. So, is there a possibility that I can ask my present employer to revoke my H1B so that I can work for like few more months and then put the name in the next lottery?
No. Actually, hang on one second.
Okay.
You are still on OPT, right?
Yes, I am still on OPT. My approval is from 1st of October, right?
Okay.
It is normally.
All right. So this is going to get very complicated. Okay. See, what happens is when you apply for H1B with change of status, your school would have revoked your service. In order for you to reinstate your service, you have to prove that your H1B has been withdrawn. And that is going to take many months.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, got it.
So I think that would be a very bad idea as a practical matter. Theoretically, that's perfectly fine. But as a practical matter, don't do it.
Right? Like,
don't do it. Don't do it. Stick with.
Sure. But the first case is fine, right?
If you got your approval, there's nothing to worry about. Then you're all set.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks so much.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah. So then next is, I think this is the last question. No, second last. Yeah, second last question. Then we'll start the new questions. I'll be locking the conference in about 4 minutes. Utilizing advance parole document despite international travel while the I-131 application was pending. So in August, I submitted 131. Then I traveled. I returned, obtaining an H-1B. My I-131 was unexpectedly approved. You should not use it. No, don't use that. Because unless you already had an advance parole and you traveled and came back within the life of the advance parole, there is no other circumstance that I know of in which your pending I-131 would survive. So I think that 131 has been approved by mistake. Don't use that. But you can travel on your H1B visa. Okay. *5. If you have a follow-up question, press *5. So you can certainly travel on your H1B visa. I don't see any problem. Okay, last question, posted question is about H1B location discrepancy. Having H1B work location in one state and permanent residence in another. Maybe I should have marked this as a frequently asked question. Come to think of it, this is a frequently asked question. Yeah, I will mark it later as a frequently asked question. So this is quite common. The situation that your H1B is for one location and your permanent residence is another state 3 hours away. Why? Because H1B is your current job, what you're doing right now. Green card is your job in the future, which you will do when you actually get the green card. Back in 1998, what happened was, I had just started my practice about 5 years back in 1998. Government realized, Department of Labor realized that with the change in the economy being heavily focused on services, it was common for employees to go from project to project in different cities. And when you do a green card, when you file for a green card, you've got to pin down which location is the job at. Because these employees kept moving, so government said, okay, you know what? For jobs that require movement or require possibility of movement, consider the corporate headquarters to be where the job is located. So even though you are moving from state to state, file the job from the corporate headquarters. As long as that is done, it doesn't matter where you live, where you move, how many times you move. So, and at the end of the process, you don't actually have to come back to your headquarters, because that's the nature of your job. So H1B is for a current job. Now let's take an example. Let's say your headquarters is located in California, but you are currently working in Illinois. Okay. So your H1B must be valid for Illinois, but your green card can be filed from California. And that's the way it works. Okay. Perfectly normal. *5 if you have a follow-up question on this. Press *5. Okay. Now I'm going to lock our conference and start answering.
The conference is now locked.
Okay. 1 second. Area code 281. Area code 281, did you have a follow-up question on what I talked about? (281)
Sorry, I was talking to you. Sorry, I have a new question.
Okay.
Are you able to take
Okay.
a new
Do
question?
me a favor. Do me a favor. Press *5 and *5 again. I'll put you in the queue back. Okay. So I'm going to go to people in the order they logged in. Just stand by. Okay. Now let's see how many questions we have today. Oh, this is easy. Only 6 questions. Psh, piece of cake. 7. Still a piece of cake. No issue. Let's start with whoever logged in first. Oh no, 8 questions. Okay, no worries. 9. All right. Back to 8. Okay. All right. Let's start with who joined us first. This was area code 815, Illinois. Okay. Let's figure out where 815 is. Go look for 815. There you go. 815, go ahead, please.
Hey, hi Rajiv.
Hello, sir.
So I'm on STEM OPT currently, and my H1B was not picked for 2 times, and this was my last year. So I was searching for CAP exempt employers, and I've almost received an offer. It's yet to come. So I just wanted to know how should the transition work, because I want to be sure that my H1B gets approved first, and then I transition to H1B, and until then continue to STEM OPT. So how do you think the transition usually works? Because my STEM OPT is valid till next year, Jan 2024.
See, what happens is when you apply for, I just discussed that a moment ago, when you apply for an H1B with a change of status, the change of status request is conveyed to the service system, to the SEVIP, and your DSO will revoke your service status. Okay. So once they revoke your, all you get is gap extension till October 1st. You are still on OPT, but it's a gap OPT. Okay.
So I'll not have to leave my current job right away, right?
No, not at all. If you are on STEM OPT and you have a change of employers, you just file a new I-983, go to the DSO, tell them you are on gap and you're joining another employer. But you are still considered to be on OPT. It's gap OPT. Are you required to get a new I-20? Are you required to get a new I-20? No, but you can get it if you have a driver's license problem, etc. Just go to your school and they'll give you a new I-20 called gap I-20.
Okay. And then once my CAP exempt H1B gets approved, then I can maybe leave my current job and continue to the
you still don't have to. You can join them on October 1st if you want.
Okay, so for CAP exempt employers also.
I'm sorry. I didn't catch that. I'm sorry. My mistake. Did you say you are on a cap exempt H1B?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
cap
glad we
exempt,
caught
yeah.
that. Okay, sorry. I thought you said cap H1B. Okay. So if it's a cap
No,
H1B
yeah.
exempt and you have applied for a change of status, the H1B
Mm-hmm.
kicks in the date requested is approved. Okay. So because remember, we can apply for an H1B 6 months ahead of time. So in June, I could apply for an H1B July, August, September, October, November, December. That kicks in December. Okay. So that means till December, I'm still on OPT. I can continue on OPT.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's how you control the date. Good luck to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Next call is from
Bye.
Sweden. Okay, Sweden. Yeah, Sweden, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. Thank you for taking my call. I'm from Sweden, as you can see, but I'm an Indian citizen previously. So I recently got my citizenship in 2022. But my question is about H1B, sir. I have an H1B in 2020 that was approved till 2023 September.
Okay.
And I went for stamping on my Swedish passport this year.
Okay.
And I got it 221G with administrative processing. And it's been 2 months.
Okay.
Still there's no info from the agency to my employer yet.
Okay.
My question is this, sir. So if they approve, if by chance they approve this, and it comes the decision after my visa date of 2023 September, do I come under cap exempt?
No, you would be cap exempt.
Okay, I would be cap exempt if they approve at any time.
That is correct.
Okay. And can my attorney email you, the USCIS or USCIS asking about the status?
Oh, no. Unless you have filed it premium processing, in which case you have some access. But normal 221G processes, if they're going to revoke the case, they'll send it back to the USCIS. USCIS will then send a notice of intent to revoke to your employer. Then they get another chance to respond to it. And if USCIS approves the case, that's called reaffirm. If they reaffirm the case, they'll send it back to the consulate for visa issuance.
Okay.
But you don't have any access. You have zero access to the government.
Okay. Yes, sir. So they did send it back, but they haven't said anything in the email regarding revoking. They said we are sending it back to the agency.
Yeah, that is what it is for. They're not sending it just to put it on better quality paper. They are sending it because they want it revoked.
Okay. That's bad.
That's the only reason they're doing it.
Okay, sir. But sir, one more question. If I have to travel to the US, it's for personal reasons. I have a B1 on my Indian passport. Is that still valid, sir?
You should be able to. You should be able to use that. That should not interfere, or neither does your pending case interfere with this, nor should your travel interfere with the pending case. Okay. But one thing I would recommend is talk to your lawyers before you travel, unless there's a hidden detail that I don't know about. Are you an IT professional? What do you do?
Yes, I'm an IT professional.
Okay.
I work in Sweden.
Because I was going to talk to you about quantum mechanics. You probably don't know about that. In quantum mechanics, there was a theory called hidden variables, which Einstein propounded. He didn't like the idea of quantum entanglement. So I was going to tell you, this is like hidden variables, Einstein's hidden variables. I don't know your entire case. Double check with your lawyers. I don't see any problem unless there is a problem that I don't know about.
Okay, so the old B1 visa on the Indian passport should still apply.
Perfectly okay.
I have a Swedish passport.
Perfectly okay.
Yeah.
All right. And another thing you can do is, if you have any doubts about it, clear your immigration in Dublin airport.
Okay. Pre-clear from Dublin.
Do your immigration pre-clearance in Dublin.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yes, that's perfect, sir. Thank you so much.
Good luck. Let's go to New York, area code 917. New York, go ahead, please.
Hi, Rajiv ji. I do have a question about layoff situation being in India. So let's say I have a H1, stamped H1, and I'm in India and I got laid off. Does the 60-day rule still apply to me given I'm not in the US soil?
No, you're outside the United States. I don't know how 60-day rules would apply to you. What you would do is you would sit in India and find a job in the United States. As soon as you find a job, they will apply for your H1B and you can travel with the new approval and the old visa.
Got it. So I'll ask my employer or the lawyer to mail me that I-140 approved, right?
Not
to my
I-140.
Indian address.
Not I-140. They have to do an H1B transfer. I-129. Yeah.
Yeah. The H1B transfer receipt.
Right.
Approved receipt to my Indian address, home address, and I need to take that physical copy.
Yes.
With me.
Not receipt.
Right? I don't need an
not receipt. Approval. Not receipt. Approval.
Approval.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then one last question. That let's say if I get laid off, I get like 14 days to find another employer.
Not 14 days. You get, hang on. You get maybe 60 days. How is that calculated? If you are in the United States and you get laid off on H1B, you have either 60 days or the time remaining on your I-94, whichever is lesser.
Right.
No 14.
But I meant that my employer gave me like 2 weeks notice to leave the job, right?
Okay.
So in that 14 days, can I take the flight ASAP the next day from India?
Oh,
US,
I know somebody who did that. I think it's a touch and go. I'm not crazy about this idea. Okay.
Because I would still have all the pay stubs until that point that I can present at the Court of Entry.
You don't have to.
Person wouldn't know at all.
You don't have to convince me. I'm on your side. I would love for you to be able to do that. I just don't know if it's a good idea. Okay. Another way you can cut down your risk of having trouble is you can try to clear your immigration in Abu Dhabi, so that if there is a problem, you're just coming back 3 hours rather than traveling 20 hours. Yeah. Another thing is, when you present yourself at Customs and Border Protection, be absolutely honest about if they ask you any questions. You be honest about what is going on and just let them know. Look, I still have 2 weeks. That are you going to come back and work, or this is non-work?
Work.
Yeah, just let them know these are my 2 weeks. I have to go work. I have to, kind of wrap up. I think they should then allow you to enter because you have 2 weeks to work. Should you bring it up affirmatively? I don't know about that. I mean, they should ask you if they want to know anything about it. You do have the choice of being overly honest and just letting them know, by the way, I just want you to know that these are my last 2 weeks at this job. I don't see the need for it, but something to think about. Okay. But if they ask you, be absolutely upfront about it. Don't try to keep anything back.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck. Let's go to Florida, area code 813.
Hi. So my question is, I have an approved not approved, sorry. I have an I-485 adjustment of status application done last August, which is 10-month pending. I have a valid H1B till June 24, and I have an approved I-140 for about 1.5 years. If I want to change a job at this point, and I also have an EAD. So if I want to change a job, should I do it on my EAD or should I transfer my H1B?
Okay, hang tight. I want to understand a couple of things. Okay, first of all, remind me, when was your 485 filed? Approximate month year.
August 2022.
So it's been more than 180 days. Good. Now, When was your I-140
and the date
approved?
retrograde.
When was your I-140 approved?
Yes.
When was it approved?
21 October 21.
Okay, good. It was after 2017. All right, so you're pretty safe. Okay. If you ask my choice, if you were my brother, my friend, I would say, keep your H1B alive. It's a good idea. Okay. So transfer on H1B. But let's say you say, you know what, I'm getting this great job offer, man. If I get into waiting for an H1B, they're not going to give me the job. Now remember, you can probably join them in about 8-10 days, because if they get your LCA process, they file the H1B premium processing, you can join them right away. Okay. But if you still say, no, I want to join them on EAD, you can do that. Get an H1B process sometime in the future. Go get an H1B visa stamp and you're back on H1B.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like you're going to lose the right to get an H1B. Only thing is, at some point, just go get a visa stamp and come back. Okay.
Okay. So you're saying when I get my H1B transfer, I need to go get the stamp?
No, sorry. I sometimes I forget that I go too fast. Okay. So you have two choices. You can join using your EAD, or you can get an H1B transfer. Right?
Right.
If you do an H1B transfer, you're all set. But if you, for some reason, you do an EAD and join them, you can always convert back to H1B with a new approval and a new visa stamp.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Make sense?
I see.
All right.
Now, what happens to my I-485 I-140 at that time? Can my employer revoke my I-140?
They can't do anything anymore. Even if they can revoke it, but the revocation doesn't affect you at all.
Affect me.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then my attorney, who when he applied for my I-140 has emailed me telling me that, hey, I represent your employer and not you. So in case of conflict,
Yeah.
my employer is my client.
That's how. No. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, I don't know what representation terms they have. You can always go get your own lawyer.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Okay. No, but whenever I get my green card, because they are my kind of point of contact, so the document comes through them. So will that be an issue?
It shouldn't be.
Get my green card?
It shouldn't be.
Okay.
Because it happens to us as well. We make sure that all the papers are forwarded to our ex-clients. That's the least we can do for them. Absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Let's go to area code 201. That's New Jersey. New Jersey, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir. I have a question regarding how one should mention their names on a USCIS visa form as well as the other US documents like driver's license, tax returns, etc. Because as you know, like in Indian passport, first and middle name is combined under given name. So when one is filling up like this forms, like the USCIS forms or any other forms, should one use given name as first name and keep middle name blank?
Okay.
Or
so,
should they split the given?
Yeah. I would go with whatever the Indian passport says for now, just to keep things consistent. Okay. But anywhere along the line, I would contact the Indian consulate and say, look, I want to do a legal name change here in the United States. Okay. And then naturally, I would need my passport updated as well. Is that a problem? I'm going to get a judgment from the court here and present it to you. Will you be able to update my passport? Okay. If they say yes, then what you can do is contact the local court system. It's very easy. Just tell them I want to do a legal name change. They'll tell you what forms to file. You don't even need a lawyer for this. This procedure is usually pretty straightforward. And the court will give you instructions, you have to advertise, etc. And then they will give you a court document. You might have to appear before a judge. No big deal. You tell them, you want a name change. The judge will then issue an order, a court order, that says your name has been legally changed from, let's say, I don't know, Shahrukh Ali Khan to Shahrukh Ali one word and Khan to Shahrukh Ali Khan, three words. So once you get that, now everything is legal. Even then you can start changing first your social security number. Then next time when you apply for your H1B, you can use the new name. And in any case, if you have to travel, you can carry the court judgment with you. You should have no issue. Okay. So I'm going to repeat it one more time. For now, just stay with your passport name everywhere. Contact the US consulate, tell them I want to do a legal name change in the US. Will you be able to update my passport? If they say yes, then go ahead and do a legal name change and start updating your documents. You don't have to update the non-immigrant visa, etc. until you are renewing it. At that point, you can renew with the new name. Okay.
And what if, like in my future filings, I basically separate out the names, like I break the given name into first
talk to your lawyers. I don't want to answer that question hypothetically. I would encourage everybody to keep the same information everywhere. It's just easier to get in and out of the United States. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Good luck, sir.
So just one more follow-up question, sir. Sorry, sir. So right now my like SSN is different, so it's not following like my passport, but my visa and driver's license, like everything else is. So should I just like
let that be?
Social security
let that be. If they have tied the social security number to your ID, you should be okay, because you don't present SSN at any immigration paper, at any immigration checkpoint. So I'm not worried about your SSN. By the way, my social security number issued in 1986 still says not valid for employment. Okay, because I came as a student. So social security number itself doesn't bother me.
Okay, got it.
Okay, good luck.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Are you a repeat customer, Florida? I just spoke with you, didn't I? Florida?
Yes. But I think you asked me to hold on.
Okay. Yeah, because I said I've looked at Florida before. Yeah, go ahead, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah. Thanks, Rajiv, for taking my question. I'm on an H1B visa with an approved I-140. So my employer filed for an H1B extension this month. At the same time, I also lost my project, like the end client that I was working. I lost that project. So I'm a bit concerned right now because my I-94 is expiring end of this month, and my H1B is in the process. So I'm a bit concerned that my H1B might get denied since I don't have a project right now. So in this case, what are my options?
What I used to do in these cases is, while the first case is pending, I would file a transfer request with another case. So there are two possibilities. One, the government will grant my transfer request even though the first case is still pending, or they will deny it. Then I just go get a visa stamp and come back. So get a project as quickly as you can and then file for another transfer while the first one is still pending.
No, I think maybe I misworded. So just to clarify.
Okay, hang on. I could have misspoken. Transfer, if it's not transfer, it's an amendment maybe. So whatever it is.
It's an extension.
So you file another extension with amendment while the first one is still pending. They probably will ask you to go outside for visa stamping. You can go to Mexico or Canada. But that's the right thing to do. That's what we do in our cases. Okay.
Okay. So file an amendment?
Yeah. File an amendment while the first one is still pending. Amendment plus transfer. Not transfer, sorry. I keep saying transfer. Amendment plus extension. Just do it again.
But I did not get a new project, so how?
Okay, you can't do it without, you gotta get a new project, otherwise start packing your bags.
No, I'm saying I will be getting a project, but I don't have right now due to the market conditions.
So that's what I just said.
My I-94.
Look, hey, listen, I said you got to get a new project, otherwise start packing your bags. So if you get a new project, then you do what I just told you to do.
Okay, so I only have 2 weeks, Rajiv, sir. So in 2 weeks, if I don't get a new project, is there any other
Who
backup
gave you
option that I can do?
who gave you the 2 weeks? Where do the 2 weeks come from?
My I-94 is expiring in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you have an extension pending.
Okay, so extension is pending, so I can
Yeah.
still remain in the country.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
makes sense. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't worry about that. As long as the extension is pending, you are in authorized period of stay. You are not unlawful. Okay.
So I don't have to worry about filing B2, right?
Oh,
B2
no.
as a
Not at
backup
all.
option.
Not at all. But if you want to, you could do that also to protect you even more.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, just in
Yeah,
case I
why
can
not?
file B2
Why
as a
not?
backup option.
You go to my blog, immigration.com. On the very top ribbon, you have entry to my blog. Go to my blog. Second or third entry is how to file a B2 in these cases, B1, B2. It tells you what form to file, what to write in the letter, explain the situation. Okay. So it's not exactly, it doesn't exactly jive with what you are telling, but it's close enough. You can use the guidance from there. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Rajiv.
You're welcome. Good luck, sir. Let's go to Nebraska. Nebraska, go ahead, please.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Rajiv ji, namaste.
Namaste, sir.
My current visa status is GCEAD because I started using my GCEAD for my employment. 485 is pending, and currently me and my family members are in India for family/medical reasons. We need to stay longer than expected. So question for you, how long can I stay out of country? How long is too long?
As long as your advance parole is alive. Okay. When does that expire? When does your advance parole expire?
2025.
Okay. So technically,
sometime in 2025.
Technically, you can stay outside USA without losing your 485 up until 2025. The only thing that would be required is when you enter the United States, make sure you have a letter or something from the employer confirming your continued employment.
Okay. That was my
so no worries.
So sounds good.
Yeah.
And next question is related to change of address. I also moved to a different city more than 2 months ago, but I forgot to let USCIS
do it
know
now.
on
Do
my
it now.
pending 485.
Do it now. It's going to be online, so you can do it from India, no problem.
Okay, and the forms are going to be.
Just do it in the search engine. Just type A as in Apple R AR11 number 11. It pulls up right away.
AR11.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, that is all.
Yep.
I need.
Good luck, sir.
For my pending 485, and also for my wife's 485. Correct?
Yes, sir. Same.
Two separate AR11s.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Good luck. Let's go to Texas, area code 469. Texas.
Hey Rajiv ji. Namaste.
Namaste, sir.
So my question was I asked this question in the previous call also, but at this point I feel like I don't know what to ask, but I'll tell my case. You can tell me what I'm wrong.
All right.
So the point was I was employed at Michael's store, and then I got my H1B. I got picked in the lottery, and I got laid off on 4th of May. Okay. And then I asked my company will they file my H1B still? And they said they are filing my H1B as a consulate processing.
Okay.
And now I don't have any employer because I have been laid off, and I have been given 2 weeks of severance.
Okay.
So that is until 3rd of July.
Okay.
So will I be able to transfer my H1B to the new
So-
employer if I got a new one?
So here is the problem.
You know what I want to do?
Okay, hold on. Here is the problem. USCIS has always said, we don't consider you to be out of the lottery until you either get a visa stamp or you get a change of status to H1B. Okay. You're not going to be able to get a visa stamp because you don't have a job anymore, the job that applied for your H1B. But as a practical matter, we have done many of these cases where the visa stamp was not obtained, H1B was approved, then a transfer was approved, and the guy went and got his H1B visa stamping with the new employer. Okay. So theoretically, government insists that these are cases back in the lottery. As a practical matter, they've been giving us approvals. Okay.
So you are saying I should just try, give it a shot?
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you have to lose?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I'm interviewing, they ask what are your status? And I said, like, my petition is approved. They kind of, refrain from giving us or getting me into the interview. So they said, like, we don't provide sponsorship or something like that.
Yeah, you need somebody to provide you.
Yeah,
you need an H1B sponsorship. That's not an option that you do need. Okay.
Okay. And there can two petitions be filed?
Sure.
Like, let's say, Michael's filed my petition. If I ask them to revoke it, and then I ask like another employer to file the petition on behalf of me before June end.
Okay, hang on. This is not making any sense. If Michael's is the employer, hang on. Let me finish, please.
Okay.
If Michael's is the one who won your lottery for you, they are the only ones who can file an H1B. Nobody else can file an H1B.
Okay.
You can't transfer lotteries.
So I should tell them.
Sir, hold on.
Should I tell them not to revoke it? Is there any such thing?
Absolutely. If they revoke it, then your any chance at the lottery is gone. Okay. What you should do is go ahead and tell them not to revoke it, and then you're currently still on OPT?
Yes, I'm OPT. Yeah.
Okay. What you do is because you are good till they have already filed your H1. They've already filed your H1, but they filed it with consular processing, right? So you don't have, but you still have OPT. So you're still on OPT. And that means what you should do is go ahead and tell another employer to apply for a transfer. Once this H1B is approved, Michael's.
Okay.
Once this H1B is approved, let another employer apply for your transfer even before October 1st. No problem.
Okay.
Only problem occurs is when your H1B is revoked by Michael's before October 1st.
Okay, so they should not revoke before 1st of October.
Before 1st of October. Now, some of my colleagues say that you must have worked for Michael's at least one day on or after October 1st. I have never agreed with that. In my view, it is enough that your petition was not revoked before October 1st and you got a transfer to another employer and you started working with them October 1st. You can join them even now because you're on OPT. Okay. Got it? Your lawyers will be able to help you with all this. Don't worry about all that.
We can transfer as soon as it got approved, right?
Yep, as soon as it got approved.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, yeah. That answers my question. Yeah.
Good luck, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, so let's see. We have 3 more questions. This one is from Ohio. 614. Ohio, go ahead, please.
Hello, Rajiv ji. I have 2 questions related to EB-110 criteria and wanted to see the feasibilities on my case.
All right.
So one is about the critical role, and I am a mechanical engineer working in automotive industry. My boss and I discussed about my roles and responsibilities, and he believes I do have some critical roles in the organization, and asked me find out the specification of the critical role so that he can evaluate whether my
critical role is just plain English. It means you did something which was very important to the company. That's it. I mean, there's no other. A critical role is basically just a common sense definition.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, he firms firmly believe that my roles and responsibilities are critical to the organization, along with any other colleagues, like my team members. They all are working on the same role, but this role is critical for the company.
Yeah, I can't really tell you what that means, and until I know all the facts, we can review your case with your employer if you want. But you should have your, okay, let's assume that that's done. Remember, EB1A is a difficult classification. It's not just a given.
Sure.
So let's say that you meet the critical. You have to meet at least 3 in numbers. Then your overall resume should look like it's somebody who's at the top 10% in the profession in the country. That's not an easy thing to do.
Right.
Typically, when I am doing an EB1A for people who are in the industry rather than academia, I usually am able to meet 3 requirements. Number 1, criticality. And remember, even if you work for a client, okay, let's say that your company sends you to do some work for the federal government, it doesn't matter. You can still be critical, although you're not an employee of the federal government. Okay.
I see.
Number 1. Number 2, yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of a limited time here, so I'm just going to do it real quickly. Number 2, I find that most of the people have much higher salaries than their peers. So that's where the second requirement is met. And the third requirement is often, in people in the industry, it's often peer review. So you would have been involved with peer review as a part of your job or in conferences, etc. So those are the 3 requirements I meet.
Peer reviewing paper is also included if I'm working on peer reviewing on some research papers?
Probably not, because if it's just a regular part of any research, any a professional, like a PhD student or a PhD already finished person.
I am being involved in presenting research papers, and I'm working towards reviewing them.
I think it kind of sort of goes in miscellaneous accomplishments. But peer review means that you're actually judging the work of your peers. And not only that, it should rise to the level where only the top 10% people in the profession are invited to do that kind of peer review.
Okay. Right.
Yeah,
now, the other criteria was,
hang on. I'm going to go on because this is a very lengthy topic and I can't cover it in the time that we have. So what we can do is one day we'll set up a call, maybe next week, and we'll just do an EB1A, nothing else. We'll just discuss EB1A cases. Okay. So
sure. I wanted to put some questions on the forum, but I couldn't. Always I have to wait till the forum questions get finished. I don't know how to put questions on it.
Well,
on the forum.
I'm sorry, I can't really help you right now. So you can just send me an email to help@immigration.com. Remind me that we had discussed about doing a call just on EB1A cases. I'll set this up within a week or 2 weeks, whenever I can, depending upon our own office time schedules as well. I have been wanting to do that for a while, so we'll do that for you. Okay. Just remind me,
sure,
and I'll set it up soon. All right?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck. Okay, now next one is New York, area code 607. New York, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hey, Rajiv, just wanted to check for a friend who has been laid off and 60 days grace period is closing. And he wants to move back to his home country and has written to his employer to pay the reasonable cost of transportation as per the H1B norm.
Right.
But his employer hasn't responded.
Okay.
So what's the redressal? Where does he to complain or whatever?
This one is a dumb move on the part of the employer. Okay. What they are doing is actually not only are they going to end up paying his ticket, they are also going to end up paying his salary all the way till they actually pay his ticket. Okay. Because the law says if you want to lay an employee off, you have to do 3 things. First, you have to tell them you are laid off. 2, you have to revoke their H1B. And 3, you have to offer to pay them one-way ticket back to their home country. If you miss any of these, then technically the employee is still employed by you. So here is what he should do. He should contact the Wage and Hour Division of the US Department of Labor. Okay? Wage and Hour Division. They have a complaint mechanism. He can call them. He can do it in writing. Not only will he get his entire salary for the time period, he will also get his ticket. So let him go back, he can also file the complaint while he's in India. No problem.
Oh, got it. And he can give those email proofs what is written
Absolutely.
to the employer and his employer hasn't
Absolutely. That's a very dumb move. If I was representing the employer, I would have said that immediately pay him his one-way ticket back. Okay.
Oh, okay, got it. And the one-way ticket is calculated like based on the. Is there any specific? How do they?
Whichever
where you have to go and say.
Whichever his home country is, that's where he's going. Okay.
Oh, okay. So there's no specific like it's United or whatever.
No. It doesn't have to be any particular. It has to be economy class one-way ticket back home. Okay.
Oh, I see. Got it. Cool. Thanks a ton. Yeah, that's what just wanted to check for him. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thanks. Bye.
Last question, Illinois. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Rajiv. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My question was, I'm right now on F1 OPT, and I'm planning to get my PERM I-140 process started. I'm an Indian, by the way. Now, if I don't get picked in the next two H1B attempts when I'm on my STEM OPT and I'll have to leave the country and then come back maybe on an L1B visa, would that I-140 hold good?
Yes. Yes.
That's my question. Would that I-140 hold good?
Yes. Once the I-140 is approved, it is good forever. Now the question is, are you going to join the same employer back? Then you can probably continue from the I-140.
Most probably, yes.
Okay, yeah. So, and even if you don't join them back, you can carry the priority date to a new green card. Okay?
Okay. And the other question is, have you seen any cases where an Indian national, while on F1 STEM OPT, have got their I-140 approved? What are the chances?
Happens all the time. OPT has nothing to do with the approval.
Oh, but they say the visa type is non-immigrant.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop your green card approval. That can cause other difficulties if you're trying to do certain things, but it doesn't have any problems with the green card approval.
Okay. And while the I-140 is in process, I cannot travel, right? That's one other thing I know.
That is also not true.
Okay.
Okay, you can travel.
Okay.
Not a problem. Good luck.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, couple of guys just raised their hands again. Sorry, guys, I had budgeted this much time. I'm going to have to leave. You should have raised your hands earlier. We'll talk again in a week on LinkedIn. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you, folks.